It's a hazy, hot day in St. Paul at CHS Field, the first day of the State Class 4A baseball tournament. Number 5 seed St. Louis Park takes on number 4 seed Maple Grove, the winner to go to the semifinals Wednesday against top seed Farmington. State baseball live on CCX next. Look outside CHS Field in downtown St. Paul's. We get ready for the quarterfinal round matchup in the State Class 4A baseball tournament. The St. Louis Park Orioles and the Maple Grove Crimson. Good afternoon and welcome to CHS. John Jacobson along with Drew Keogh. And Drew, a big moment for all of these kids and really for the St. Louis Park baseball community. First time in the state tournament since 1952.
Yeah, I can't tell you as a resident in St. Louis Park, this is really exciting. Brian Kelly's got a kid in the youth program. He's been eyeballing this program, building up for several years. And the way the season lined up for them, they had a rough stretch in the middle part of the season, but the way their lineup stacked for the section playoffs worked out really well. They got a great 1-2 on the mound and a solid hitting lineup. So it's turned out pretty well for them, but going up against a really talented Maple Grove team will be a good challenge for them.
This is the second of 4 quarterfinal round games of the day in 4A at CHS. Farmington, an exciting come-from-behind win over Park Cottage Grove, 3-2 in the opener this morning. And then still to come here today, number 2 seed Stillwater hosts Sarchell. And then it's Andover, the number 3 seed, taking on Chanhassen in the nightcap at around 7:30 tonight. Maple Grove comes in with a 19-4 record, their first state tournament appearance, Drew, in 5 years. And in talking to them before the seeding came out, they thought they had a case for either the 2 or the 3 seed. They didn't face Stillwater, but they beat Mounds View twice in the section tournament. Mounds View beat Stillwater twice during the regular season. And Andover, they beat head-to-head. But here they are as the number 4 seed. And a tough matchup against Chris Hopkins, that we're going to talk about. But Maple Grove excited to be here. A lot of state tournament experience for these guys, not in baseball at the high school level, but a lot of these guys, 10 guys on the state's runner-up football team last fall.
Yeah, that's one of the big differences between these two programs. Maple Grove brings in that state football tournament experience, the state hockey tournament experience, and they've had success in several other sports throughout the years. St. Louis Park just doesn't have that state tournament experience, so it's really exciting for them, whereas these Maple Grove boys have been on this stage before. They've played in these big games before. Great regular season, kind of those 4 losses by 1 run, I believe, all 4 games. So tough losses for them, but they came through in the sections, had a great come-from-behind win after giving up the go-ahead run to Mounds View in the 7th in the section final. Came back to put up 2 on a air up the middle for Mounds View and pulled out that section title. But good run for them this regular season. Going to be a tough matchup for them out there in this hot field, going up against a guy who sits in the mid to upper 80s and sometimes hits low 90s in Christopher Hopkins.
We'll take a time out. First pitch coming up. St. Louis Park, Maple Grove State Baseball next on CCX.
CCX Media is the first place you go for local news and sports. But did you know you can sign up for those stories to go straight to your inbox on our website? Simply go to ccxmedia.org. Click on the subscribe button, and from there choose which notifications you want to receive. Then we'll send your favorite CCX Media news, sports, and city events straight to your inbox. Sign up now at ccxmedia.org.
The Orioles and the Crimson. Quarterfinal round baseball at CHS on this Tuesday afternoon. It's a warm one. 91 degrees, winds 18 miles per hour, and it is not a comfortable day to be wearing black, which both of these teams are on their jersey tops, the Orioles and the Crimson. Let's look at the batting order for the Orioles today. Ben Farley is the leadoff hitter. He plays shortstop. Stanley Regenti is the left fielder batting second. Then it's Chris Hopkins, the pitcher, batting third. Stefano Giovanelli is the center fielder hitting fourth. Then it's Zach Helfman catching. Graham Sullivan is the DH. Brady Walsh at first base batting seventh. Andrew Vela is at third base batting eighth. And Henry Odens at second base bats ninth for Park. And defensively for Maple Grove around the infield, Hunter Gerber at first, Zane Vitens at second, Brian O'Dwyer at shortstop, Tanner Albeck at third. Caden Mokel gets to start in left field today. Jacob Kilzer in center. Devin Hornbacher in right field. Chayton Fisher is the catcher. And the pitcher today for Maple Grove is Aiden McMahon. First pitch is outside and high for ball one. McMahon, a guy who missed a good share of the football season, tore his ACL in the non-contact play, and missed all of hockey season, came back a few weeks ago, and first ball hit in the air and out to center field and caught by Jacob Kilzer. Ben Farley out on two pitches for the first out. But getting back to McMahon, just got into baseball shape, so to speak, and cleared to play, Drew, after the season started in early May, and then he's been good in his limited action, as you can see.
Yeah, for these high-level athletes, it takes a while for that body to fully recover, get all your muscle strength back. You don't want anything out of whack, so you don't want to ruin your elbow when you don't have good leg strength. So you got to work on that leg and get into baseball shape.
Hits the second batter. Regenti takes one on the shoulder, takes one for the team, and he's on.
Yeah, at this point in the game, you want to do anything you can. It's hard to teach that turning the shoulder. I talk a lot about Little League when I do these games with you, and we're trying to teach the young ones that don't open up, but if you can take that pitch to your shoulder, don't get hurt, get on base for your big hitters behind you. You want to take advantage of that opportunity.
Gerber holding Regenti on at first, and Chris Hopkins in the batter slices one down the left field line. It's a fair ball. That'll get to the wall. Regenti is going to be waved around. He is going to score the throw in. It's going to be a double for Hokinson, and it's 1-0 Park. Three batters into the game.
Wow, just the start Park was looking for. They got their ace on the mound, Metro Player of the Year. Starting for them, great ERA throughout the season. Comes up to the plate, one of the better hitters in the state, if not the best hitter in the state. He doesn't get pitched to that often. They pitched outside on that one. He went with it and drove it to the left field and gets that first run on the board for St. Louis Park.
Yeah, Coach Kelly talked about what a good hitter is, and he gets all the accolades for pitching, but can really put the ball in play, and that's why he's hitting at number 3 in the order. So Park gets up early, 1-0, and the number 4 hitter, Stefano Giovanelli, the batter.
Yeah, another big bat here for St. Louis Park. Big start for them to get Hokinson on base, get that first run on the board. Giovanelli's a great bat to hit behind Hokinson, gives him protection, and he can drive the ball well himself.
Ball and a strike to the junior center fielder.
Probably one of the better names in baseball from what I've seen. I love it.
Giovanelli, absolutely. Cutting a miss, it's 1-2.
He goes by the nickname Fano, they call him. If he hits one, they call it a Fano bomb. It's kind of fun, but he's had a really good season too himself. He's hit a couple out of the park, and it's a good 4-hitter for St. Louis Park.
For my man, you just got to settle in here, Drew. Okay, nothing you do about the run that's already in. Lock in on these next guys. Try to get out and have it just be 1-0. Outside. Giovanelli didn't chase. It's 2-2.
Yeah, it's easy to feel pressure at this level, especially at the state tournament. It's hot out. You want to make all the big plays for your team, but it is truly a team game. You can only do what you're able to do on the mound. You want to throw strikes and get guys out. You don't want to feel pressure and walk batters here early in the game.
Count stays at 2-2. Zach Helfman on deck for the Orioles. Inside, count is full.
Yeah, that state tournament appearance or experience for Maple Grove may turn out to be really big, especially in this position where they give up that early run. St. Louis Park comes in, feel like the pressure's on them. Haven't been here for years, but good start for them. And Maple Grove just needs to keep their composure and feel confident that they can put the ball in play and put a couple runs on the board.
Giovanelli was right on that, fouled it straight back. Though count stays at 3-2.
Said 91 at the start, but I think it's going to easily get up to 95, 98, and it's definitely hot on that field.
Jaden Fisher puts down the signs. 3-2 pitch inside, and there's a walk. And 2 on, and still just 1 out for Park with a run already in. Giovanelli, good at bat, draws the walk.
Good at bat there. He didn't chase anything, protected the plate, a couple foul balls, and stayed alive and works his way down to first base. And big chance here for St. Louis Park to put a few runs up on Maple Grove here in the first inning with the heart of their order up and only 1 down.
Graham Sullivan is the DH. He's on deck. Zach Helfman, the batter now, the catcher. Fly out, then a hit batter, double, and a walk so far. First pitch is a called strike to Helfman.
You know, being the higher seed, I believe Maple Grove will get a chance to select their dugout, and it might be a little bit of an advantage to take that first base dugout there in the shade. You know, you see the players up on the bench, but when they're sitting down, they're protected. St. Louis Park is kind of sitting in the sun all day, and the fans are going to be dealing with that too. It looks like Maple Grove doesn't really have a student section or a fan section, but they're all just sitting up in the shade about 15 rows up.
Helfman, a 185 batting average, but he drove in 15 runs, so got some big hits for Park this year. Also drew 10 walks.
Yeah, the top half of this Park order does a really good job of getting on base and setting the table for the big power hitters here in the middle of the order.
1-2 pitch. There's a strikeout, and there's out number 2. McMahon, his first K of the day.
Big out there. Got him to chase that outside pitch. The previous pitch was a little bit off the outside part of the plate, but he got the call and stayed on the outside part of the plate and got him to chase that one.
Two on, now 2 out. And Sullivan, the batter, hitting for the right fielder Jacob Favor today. Cut and a miss on the first McMahon pitch. Sullivan, a .258 batting average, 7 RBIs on the season. Which is low, 1-1.
You know, it's one of those little things you want to focus on is, and when you're on the mound, is you want to keep that game moving. You don't want your defense to get too hot and bored out there, because the more you stand around in this hot weather, the quicker you are to lose that attention span.
Foul at the plate. Count is 1-2. Man, a strike away from getting out of this. Man looking back at Hopkins, delivers the 1-2, and back-to-back strikeouts for the senior. And Maple Grove will get able to get out of that top half of the first inning, but the Orioles strike early. They get a run on a hit, no errors, and they leave 2 with a strikeout pitcher. McMahon fan Sullivan drew to end the first.
Yeah, he's having a nice job staying on the outside part of that plate. Hopkinson got one on the outside part of the plate and drove it to left field as a left-handed hitter. That's what good hitters do, and if you stay out there, it's going to be harder and harder to hit that ball as you continue to stretch that strike zone throughout the game.
So a good start for Brian Kelly's team as Maple Grove will come to bat for the first time this afternoon at CHS Field. Look at the batting order for the Crimson. Tanner Allback, junior third baseman, leading off, and it's Devin Hornbacher in right, Hunter Gerber at first. Chayton Fisher's the catcher hitting cleanup. Mason South is the DH. Aiden McMahon, the pitcher. Zane Vitens at second base. Brian O'Dwyer at shortstop, hitting 8th. And Jacob Kilzer batting 9th. And the defense for Park today. Around the infield, Walsh at first. Oden's at second base. Farley at short. Vela at third base. Genty in left field. Giovanelli in center. Favor in right. Helfman is the catcher for Chris Hokinson, the all-state, all-metro pitcher for Park. And look at those numbers, Drew. 56 innings, 94 strikeouts, an ERA of 1.24. He'll play at the University of Minnesota next year.
Yeah, I remember seeing him pitch. I think it must have been his freshman year. He was very skinny, but he still threw very hard. One of those kids that you look up and you say, he's a 9th grader and he's throwing that hard? How does he do that? And I remember talking to his dad earlier in the season in the stands, like, at what age did you notice that he had that talent? And he said it probably wasn't until about age 13, 14. You know, Little League he was good. He may not have been the best player in the league, one of those standout kids, bigger than everybody. But as he grew into that body over his sophomore and junior and senior season here, he really throws that ball hard, has a sharp breaking ball, and at the plate, he's one of the best hitters in the state as well. So expect a lot of fastballs and a tough, sharp breaking ball. But like I said earlier, he sits in the upper 80s, can hit low 90s, and if if his arm's feeling well, he could, reach 92, 93 maybe.
A lot of these Maple Grove guys saw him last year because it was Park that eliminated Maple Grove from the section tournament when they were both in Section 6-4A a year ago. Maple Grove moved to Section 5 this year. So these guys have faced him and certainly know his reputation, know what they're up against today. But they put together some good quality at-bats late in the season and are confident here. You don't want to fall behind 1-0 early, but they're going to take their best shot at Chris Hopkinson today.
Yeah, it's a good morale booster for Park to get that first run in the first inning, on the top half of the first inning here, because Hopkinson doesn't give up too many runs, and he really, if he's on his game, he's really hard to hit.
Ball one in the dirt to Tanner Allbeck, 297 batting average. 27 runs, Drew. He's walked 14 times. His on-base percentage is .416, and he's a guy that Park would not like to see necessarily on first base. 19 steals in 20 attempts this year.
Yeah, you want to, as a leadoff hitter, you do anything you can. You definitely don't want to get hit by a pitch, but you work that count. You want to make sure that you feel comfortable at the plate. You see the pitch well. You work deep into the count if you don't get a good pitch to hit, and stay alive at the plate.
One will pitch to Allbeck. High chopper to third. Picked cleanly there. Throw to first. And there's one away. Vela to Walsh. And Allbeck retired to start the Maple Grove first.
Yeah, good for Park to be back on this grass. Their field at St. Louis Park is natural grass. Their section tournament was all turf, so it was kind of an adjustment for them, taking those grounders at Hopkins. You know exactly what you're getting. Here at CHS, a well-manicured field, so you can kind of anticipate to play like a turf field, but the ball won't be coming to you as fast if it's hitting the ground.
Devin Hornbacher taking a first pitch strike from Chris Hopkinson. Lefty delivers, and strike two. It'll take a lot of time, Drew, to get ready for that next pitch. This one popped up foul and out of play. Yeah,
that's part of his game. He's in control out there. He didn't play summer ball with Park Legion. He did the showcase tours. He's played on the big stage. Park had a kid come through the program a few years back that got an offer to Vanderbilt, played for some elite programs. So he kind of had an in and exposure to what that life was like, and that's what he experienced last year. So he kind of has that confidence then and that approach to the game where he's going to control the mound. And I think we saw after that first pitch, he had a little concern that he slipped on that first batter, and there we saw him slip again. So interesting to see how he adjusts to this mound.
1-2 pitch, low, 2-2. It didn't seem early. Again, it's only 7 pitches in. Real comfortable on that mound, right?
Yeah,
they see digging at it again, trying to get that good landing spot.
Yeah, the umpire went over to BK Brian Kelly to ask if he wanted to go out there and check out the mound, but he waved him off and said, "Let's figure it out."
Hornbacher fouls it out of play.
But that's one of those things you don't want your star elite pitcher to be dealing with, because you want them focused on every batter, every pitch. You don't want them to be thinking about where's my foot going to plant when I come down and throw this fastball.
Three and two.
And you can see that spot in the front part of the mound. It's a very different color than the rest of the mound. It's very dark. It seems like a deeper layer of dirt, so it might be kind of softer. It might be a softer landing spot than he's used to. Maybe they put some magic dust or something in there to kind of dry it up.
3-2 pitch. Hornbacher fouls it off. So good at bat here for the senior outfielder.
And that adjusts where you set up on the rubber too. If you're typically on the outside like he is right now, he's going to be aware of where his foot's going to plant.
Swing and a miss on the high fastball. Strikes him out for out number 2.
it happens so quick. When those fastballs are coming in at that speed, you have to make a decision so quick. He gets him to chase something out and up, tried to protect, but he just wasn't able to get the bat on the ball that time.
2 outs, nobody on for Hunter Gerber. Gerber chopping it, foul. Gerber's had a good season for Maple Grove, 309 batting average. 10 doubles, 1 homer, 15 RBIs. He'll be one of the captains for the Crimson football team in the fall.
Yeah, he seems like he's got the body of a football player down there, which is one of those things where you try and teach kids that size. You don't need to swing that hard, especially with a pitcher that throws this hard. You put the barrel of the bat on the ball on one of these fastballs, it's going to go.
Of the 10 guys, Drew, that are in the lineup today, including the player who's being DH for Vocal, 8 of them played football.
Yeah, Maple Grove, great football program. They've had just, it's kind of like that transition with Lombardi going from Wayzata back in the day to Maple Grove. He brought that elite status of a football program, and seeing them make that run in the postseason this past fall was fun, because a lot of excitement when your football team makes it to the state tournament advances. They just ran into a buzzsaw in that Lakeville team.
Fouled back by Gerber. It's 1-2. Hokinson's pitch just outside, and it's 2-2.
He's the kind of pitcher who, as the game goes on, he seems to get better. In that section tournament, I want to say he pitched into the 8th, maybe the 9th. I'm pretty sure it was the 8th inning. He reached his pitch limit, and it was zeros across the board. And kudos to the Hopkins team as well. Their pitcher came out there and threw a gem, and Hopkins ended up pulling off that first game. But the nice thing that Park has going for them is their number 2 is not a huge step down from Hopkinson. I mean, Hopkinson is elite status, but Stefano Giovanelli throws the ball really hard. He's a left-hander as well, so it's a good number 2, and then Vela's their 3. So they have a really good pitching rotation.
Good tough at bat here. Gerber grounds it in the hole and then to right field for a base hit. Really fought Hopkinson in that at bat, and then finally rewarded and pokes a single to right.
Looks like a line drive in the scorebook. That's all you got to do is get on base. Doesn't matter how you do it. Good contact down the count, stayed alive, fought, battled, pushes it over to the right side of the infield and scoots just by the outstretched glove of the second baseman there.
Well, Maple Grove with its first base runner today. And Chayton Fisher really had a good season behind the plate and at the plate as a batter, playing the All-Star Series next weekend in Chaska, cutting a miss on that first pitch there from Hokinson.
That's always a fun weekend to watch baseball. You get all these kids coming down. They're really talented. They're not trying to do their own individual thing. They have fun, play as a team. But you get to see some of the best talent that Minnesota has to bring to the diamond.
Hokinson quickly ahead of Fisher, though, 2 strikes. Oh, 2 and 3 straight pitches and strikes. 2 strikeouts for Hokinson, Fisher, and Maple Grove out in the bottom of the first. No runs and a hit, they leave 1. 1 inning in the books here at CHS Field. Our score, St. Louis Park 1, Maple Grove nothing. CCX Media, your source for great local programming, is now available on Roku and Apple TV. Our free app allows you to stream all 3 of our channels live. You'll also have access to a large on-demand library, including daily newscasts and full sporting events. To find the app, go to the store and search CCX and download our free app. Then sit back and enjoy all of your favorite local content. Now available on Roku and Apple TV. Some of the St. Louis Park students who have come out today to support their Orioles team, and they see them leading 1-0 as we go to the top half of the second inning. Everybody's got a theme, right? Pink out for the St. Louis Park fans. It's a whiteout day for the Maple Grove fans who have come over to CHS today. And cook in the sun for a couple hours, right, Drew?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how those kids fare as this game goes into the 5th, 6th inning, as that sun continues to – it's not going anywhere. It's just going to continue to get hotter. And, that little breeze helps, but, man, it gets hot out there real quick.
Fortunate that it's not total sun, though. I mean, there's some cloud cover. I mean, it's not lying. It's hot out, but it could be worse for these guys and gals. Brady Walsh swing and a miss at the first pitch of the start of the second inning against Aiden McMahon. 7, 8, and 9 hitters. Beautiful day here at CHS, home of the St. Paul Saints, Minnesota Twins, AAA affiliate.
Yeah, great facility. St. Louis Park Little League had their night out with the Saints last Friday. It was beautiful. We got to go down on the field, hit some tennis balls, home run derby. Fireworks after the game. Saints won, I believe. It's kind of one of those things once you go to minor league baseball, you chasing kids around, you don't really pay too much attention to the game. You're buying food and snacks and make sure everybody doesn't get lost. But great time, great facility. They did a great job at this place.
1-2 pitch, and Walsh getting a piece of it to stay alive. Really nice for the Twins, too.
Yeah.
You're not sending somebody to Rochester or wherever their affiliates have been over the years for AAA, and now you're just across the river. You need a player. Swing and a miss, and 3 straight strikeouts now for McMahon as Walsh goes out swinging to start the second.
Yeah, good start here for the Crimson to get that leadoff batter out and start off on the right foot here in the second inning. But going back to the Twins having their minor league affiliate, it's a great marketing tool, too. You have the kids like Royce Lewis. You have the kids who have the two-way options are going up and down between the majors and AAA. There's other kids that are in single A that are on the top 100 prospect list that you can come and see when they get here, and then you can kind of follow them as they go over to Target Field and kind of grow with them. And it's a great opportunity to market and build that brand for the Twins organization.
Andrew Vela, hook in there for a strike, and he's behind 0-2. Just missed, 1-2. Up high, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, you want to see that breaking ball kind of snap. You don't want to leave it up and out. That means you're kind of losing control of the grip. And that might be something that we see that happens as the game goes on with it being so hot out there and all the sweat going on. That the ball might, become a little wet out there. So you kind of want to make sure you have the opportunity to keep your hands dry. And you get a good grip on that ball and you don't lose the control.
Vela fouling it off. Still 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Park third baseman Henry Oden's on deck. We talked about the multi-sport athletes for Maple Grove. St. Louis Park certainly with a lot of them too, guys who have played hockey or basketball and then football in addition to baseball. And there are a lot of coaches that most coaches, I would say, that love the multi-sport athlete. You get to use different muscles, you get to hang around different kids. You're not playing one sport year round. Not all coaches subscribe to that in all sports, but I think a lot do, including these two.
Yeah, definitely. I know BK talks a lot about having the hockey players' aggressiveness and physical awareness out there on the mound because, typically baseball isn't considered a really physical sport, but you have hockey players coming in, they're tough, they're, throwing the ball around, they're not afraid to slide or dive. But you also have a lot of basketball players and football players with Park as well, so the multi-sport athlete is great to see for both programs.
And up the middle, a base hit. Vela works his way back from down in the count. They get a 1-out single here in the Park second.
Again, not the hardest hit ball. Squared it up, drove it right up the middle of the infield. Just no chance for the shortstop to field that ball as it's hit, scoots right up the infield, and good at bat. That's the thing with baseball. A lot of these kids today think that, you see Josh Donaldson go on MLB Network and say, the big leagues pay you to hit home runs. That's what they pay you to do. Well, at this level, you want to hit line drives. You want to hit the ball as hard as you possibly can. You square it up. Eventually, those line drives will be going over the outfielder's head. As you grow older and continue to do that, they go over the fence. So you don't want to just have this home run swing the whole time. You want to have the ability to line up the ball, pick up the pitch, and put the barrel of the bat on the ball and hit it as hard as you possibly can and then see what happens.
Henry Oden's the number 9 hitter. Hit 400 in the sections for St. Louis Park and really had some big at-bats for them as they came through. As Drew mentioned, had to beat Hopkins twice in that final day because Hopkins won the first game on championship day and the Orioles had to come back and win game 2. Got 4 runs in the top of the first inning in game 2 to secure their championship. But Oden's with some big at-bats for the Orioles in the last couple of weeks. Yeah, behind here, 1 and 2.
Great 9 hitter, turns it over to the top of the order where they really tend to do their damage. So he's a great 9 hitter. If he can keep this inning alive, get on base, it sets the table for the leadoff hitter.
Hold strike 3 on the outside corner. 4th strikeout for McMahon. There's 2 down.
Tough pitch. You got to try and fight that off. Nice breaking ball. Kept that one down low. Looks like it may have caught the other batter's box. But hey, it's the umpire's call. The call was made. And sometimes it's where the catcher's set up that deceives the umpire. And for Maple Grove, they got that call.
Back to the top of the order now, and left-handed hitting shortstop Ben Farley. Farley, a guy, hockey, football, and baseball guy. All Metro West Conference, led the team in RBIs with 18, tied for the team lead.
Having your leadoff hitter tie for the team lead in RBIs tells you something about this batting lineup. That bottom half of the order tends to get on base and sets the table for the leadoff hitter to hit line drives and bring in runs, which they tend to do as the game progresses. They turn that lineup over and get runners on.
Way outside, and it's 3-0 now to Farley.
Going back to that called 3rd strike, if you're St. Louis Park, this is a team game. That's one pitch. You got to put that behind you. So many kids tend to sit there and say, this umpire this umpire that. That call's done. It's not going to change. The umpire is going to continue to call strikes and balls throughout the game. You got to adjust to his strike zone and understand that he called that a strike, so you might want to be a little more aggressive on those outside part of the plate pitches.
Three balls, no strikes. Regenti on deck for Park. Hoping he can get a plate appearance. Farley taking all the way. I'm 3-0, and it's a called strike. Called strike, and it's 3-2. Farley was ready to take his base there.
I've seen some players actually toss their bat in anticipation that you'd never want to show up the umpire. You just kind of move on to the next pitch. That call is made again. You got to let it go. Don't walk down halfway and ask, why was that a strike?
That one definitely is ball 4 though, and Farley does draw a walk. Vela to second, and 2 runners on with 2 outs for Park here in the second.
Big spot here for in the game early in the second inning here. If they can keep this inning alive and get Hopkinson and Giovanelli at the plate, that means they're going to probably get another run or 2 on the board. And if Hopkinson gets a 3-4 run lead, that's going to be a really tough hill for the Crimson to come back on. But if they can get this one out, they're still in really good shape.
Regenti fouling the first pitch back, hit by a pitch and scored the game's only run so far on the Hopkinson double.
Pitch.
Just inside, 1-1.
Good pitch. I think Regenti was trying to wear that in the shoulder, but it broke across the inside part of the plate and just missed it.
Fouled down the left field line. It's going to be out of play.
Kind of see the pants on these players blowing around quite a bit when they're not tight, and that's a good sign to keep that breeze going. You want to keep the air moving, give yourself a little bit of fresh air with that. If there's no breeze, that temperature is going to rise pretty quick.
That is a stiff wind blowing from right to left here.
Yeah, what did Dave say? I think 18, 19 miles an hour.
This is grabbed by Allbeck at third, and the third out of the inning. A line drive, and Tanner Allbeck makes the catch. Regenti and Park retired to end the inning. For the Orioles in the second, no runs on a hit. They leave 2. They've stranded 4. Inning and a half played. 1-0 Park.
CCX Media, your source for great local programming, is now available on Roku and Apple TV. Our free app allows you to stream all 3 of our channels live. You'll also have access to a large on-demand library, including daily newscasts and full sporting events. To find the app, go to the store and search CCX and download our free app. Then sit back and enjoy all of your favorite local content. Now available on Roku and Apple TV.
There are some other Keoghs in the house here today, in addition to my color man, Drew Keogh, today. Drew, you got kids in the park program. There's one of them.
He's supposed to be doing a dance. He's kind of getting embarrassed here. I think he knows he's on camera, so he's running away. But yeah, he's here with, oh, there's his buddy. There's the Superfan Club. A bunch of little leaguers here. That's Brian Kelly's little son. They're on the same baseball team. It's pretty fun to watch them grow up together. And kind of that's Brian's vision for St. Louis Park baseball and getting these kids down here and seeing the great student section here. And that's one of those things where we went to watch the Park Hopkins section game, and my kids were asking, why are there so many Park people here and there's not a lot of Hopkins people? And I said, well, it's because there's programs like Hopkins and Maple Grove who go to state, every 3-4 years in some sport. For Park, this is a really big deal.
Mason South rips one down the left field line. It's a base hit. He'll take a big wide turn. Now he'll head for second, throw a little bit offline, and he's in with a double.
Great leadoff double. Great start to the inning. Just inside the third base line, hustles out of the box. He was going for 2 right out of the box, and you can see the left fielder was shaded to center field a little bit. Good strong throw, but too much ground to cover, and running away from second base makes it a very tough throw.
10th double of the year for South. A big home run in the section championship game against Mounds View, and then hit that ground ball at the end of the game that was thrown into right field by the Mounds View shortstop that led to the winning run and gave Maple Grove the section title. So a good start for Maple Grove here in the second as they get South in scoring position. Aiden McMahon takes a first pitch strike from Chris Hokinson.
The Crimson runs are at a premium here, so it'll be interesting to see what they do. And you say let's drop a bunt down, but when you're going up against one of the best pitchers in the state, if not the best pitcher, who throws that hard and has a good sharp breaking ball, it's not as easy as it typically is to drop down a bunt, sacrifice bunt.
McMahon taking, and it's a strike, and he's behind 0-2 now on Hokinson. Hokinson with a couple of strikeouts in the first.
You're trying to do anything you can to put that ball in play, whether it's a pop fly to the outfield. There you go.
Pops it up into short center field. That's going to drop. South couldn't really go anywhere because he couldn't tell if that was going to be caught or not by Gio Vanelli. So he holds, but it's a pop fly single by McMahon. And Maple Grove's got something going here in the bottom half of the second. You see South was off, but he didn't know if that was for sure if that was going to hold up or not.
Yeah, you're kind of caught up in no man's land there at second base. You can't, the ball's hit right over your head. You can't really have a good read. You can't see it from an angle. It's going straight over you. You'd rather be safe than sorry in this situation. Especially with nobody out.
Zane Vitens, the batter. Senior second baseman. See, Drew, if the bunt is on here, again, you mentioned not necessarily easy to bunt on Hokinson, but now you get 2 runners on base, and see if they try to get them into scoring position.
Yeah, you got the first baseman in on the grass looking to come in.
Maple Grove's not sacrificed a lot this season.
Yeah, it really depends on your coaching philosophy. Some programs like Robbinsdale, Armstrong, you would almost 100% expect them to bunt in this situation, no matter who's on the hill. But some coaches don't really have much trust in the bunt. But here you go.
Pulled it back on the pitch high and away, and 2-0. Brian O'Dwyer on deck. It's a nice bunt down in front of the circle and throw down to first. And good play. Helfman throwing to first, and they do move the runners up. South to third, McMahon to second.
Exactly what you want to do if you're going to drop down a bunt. You're not bunting for a hit. You're just bunting to put that ball in the dirt. The runners know you're going to bunt, so they're getting an extra lead. And as that ball goes down in the dirt, they're busting to second and third. And the hitter does a nice job getting the sacrifice down.
So now you've got two runners in scoring position, one out. And Brian O'Dwyer, the number 8 hitter, a shortstop coming up. This pitch a little high, 1-0. Dwyer had a big hit against Mounds View in the winner's bracket final in that section tournament to help the Crimson stay alive and eventually force extra innings where they won.
Yeah, big spot here for Maple Grove to get on the board with one, if not two, if they can.
Dwyer in the head in the count. Hopkinson caught the outside corner for a strike. Puts it down perfectly. It's a fair ball. Run will score. Throw is high and into right field. Another run is in. It's 2-1 Maple Grove. They force Park to play the ball. Dwyer gets a great bunt down. The throw to first is high. And McMahon never stopped running. He scores, and it's 2-1 Crimson on a ball hit about 20 feet, Drew.
So much for not having much faith in that bunting strategy. That turned out great for Maple Grove. Tough for a left-handed pitcher over here to pick up that ball on the first base side and get that ball out at first base. He throws it over the first baseman's head as he's trying to press too much. But the runners were moving on that pitch, got the suicide squeeze down, and they get 2 runs on the board.
Pitch low to Kilzer. Jacob Kilzer, the number 9 hitter. Batting 9. So Dwyer reaches on the air. South and McMahon both score. And the Crimson have taken the lead. Check swing. Did he go around? 1-1 the count. And Maple Grove will be back to the top of the order. Called strike.
Yeah, not only was that a good job getting the suicide down, but he placed it perfectly in between first base and home. That runner from second on the break of the pitch, he was going around third to score that second run as St. Louis Park was conceding that first run, trying to get that out at first, and then they scored that second.
Well, Dwyer going, throw down to second, and he's out. He popped up off the bag just a little bit, and O'Dwyer is called out.
Yeah, he beat the throw. He slid in safe. As he transitioned into his hand on the bag, his foot was off. Split second, and a nice play by the middle infielder to keep that tag on and get the called out.
Elfman to Farley covering as Theo Dwyer had a pretty good jump here. There, just off the bag, and when his hand was off when the tag was put on. Chop back to Hopkinson, throw to first, and Maple Grove retired. But the Crimson come through, a couple of hits to lead it off, and then a big error. And they have taken the lead. 2 runs, 2 hits, 1 error, nobody left on. New score at the end of 2 innings. Maple Grove leads St. Louis Park 2-1.
CCX Media, your source for great local programming, is now available on Roku and Apple TV. Our free app allows you to stream all 3 of our channels live. You'll also have access to a large on-demand library, including daily newscasts and full sporting events. To find the app, go to the store and search CCX and download our free app. Then sit back and enjoy all of your favorite local content. Now available on Roku and Apple TV.
CCX Media is the first place you go for local news and sports. But did you know you can sign up for those stories to go straight to your inbox on our website? Simply go to ccxmedia.org. Click on the subscribe button, and from there, choose which notifications you want to receive. Then we'll send your favorite CCX Media news, sports, and city events straight to your inbox. Sign up now at ccxmedia.org.
Hot day in St. Paul for the state Class 4A baseball tournament, the second quarterfinal round of the day at CHS Field. Maple Grove, the 4 seed, leading number 5 seed St. Louis Park 2-1 as we go to the top half of the third inning. Winner to play Farmington Wednesday at noon here at CHS. Loser of this game goes into the consolation bracket at Parade Stadium in Minneapolis. Another great venue for baseball, Drew, that we've done games at before. Section time. We don't have any sections that play down there regularly now, but it's a terrific spot to watch a high school baseball game. Here's Chris Hopkins and that slicing RBI double in the first to get Park on the board.
Yeah, Parade right in the heart of downtown. You got the cherry and the spoon right in the backdrop. It's a beautiful spot.
Hit in the air out to right field. Devin Hornbacher under it, makes the catch. Hokinson retired for the first out in the third.
Maple Grove feeling pretty good right now, taking advantage of aggressive running and a nice sacrifice bunt followed up by a suicide squeeze, jump out and put up 2 runs on one of the best pitchers in the state. And they're trying to get through the heart of this St. Louis Park order and get back in the dugout and get to the plate again.
Stefano Giovanelli, the batter. Right after, Drew, I had said they haven't sacrificed a ton this season. They lay down perfect back-to-back bunts and get 2 runs out of it.
Yeah, that sacrifice was perfect, and the suicide squeeze was perfectly placed if you're trying to put the ball away from home plate. And you got the 2 runs in.
Called strike. It's 1-2 now to Giovanelli, who walked in his first at bat. You go around. Strike 3.
Yeah, I don't know if he went around, but it sounded like he tipped it, so it would have been strike 3 if he did tip it. But again, umpire calls that 3rd strike. You got to deal with it and move on. Yeah, I think that's a good call. It's a tough judgment call, but I think it's the right call. And of course, we have the advantage of having replay, but for these umpires, it's a really tough call to make in the moment.
5 strikeouts now for McMahon in 2 2/3 innings. And the first pitch to Zach Helfman is in the dirt for ball 1. Two and 0. Gammons walked 2, struck out 5, hit a batter, given up a couple hits, so they've had base runners. Now 2-1 after the called strike.
Yeah, both teams are going to need to adjust to that. The umpire is consistently calling that pitch off the outside part of the plate.
Out back, and it's 2-2.
You gotta adjust your approach at the plate to not only the pitcher on the mound, but also you got to learn from the umpire. Keep an eye on where the catcher's setting up. If the pitcher's consistently throwing strikes on the outside part of the plate, you just got to go out there and protect it. You may not drive it, but you got to do what you can to stay alive and protect that plate.
2-2 pitch, driven well foul. Out of play.
A lot of running in this hot weather. Oh, it's going to go down the hill.
He's chasing it down. There he is. Hey, look, hey,
That's a hike.
The 2-2 is swing and a miss. McMahon got back-to-back strikeouts, 6 in the game, and he's got his first 1-2-3 inning. Nothing across for Park. 2.5 played on CCX. It's 2-1 Maple Grove.
CCX Media, your source for great local programming, is now available on Roku and Apple TV. Our free app allows you to stream all 3 of our channels live. You'll also have access to a large on-demand library, including daily newscasts and full sporting events. To find the app, go to the store and search CCX and download our free app. Then sit back and enjoy all of your favorite local content. Now available on Roku and Apple TV.
Ryan Kelly in St. Louis Park trailing Maple Grove 2-1 as we move to the bottom half of the 3rd inning. 7th year as head coach, and really great guy to talk to about baseball and about his program and about his kids, and happy to be the leader for a team that's in the state tournament for the first time since the early 1950s.
Yeah, he's definitely been the media darling, and he's eating it up. He was doing social posts with the mayor the other day and doing the grad party rounds with a lot of these players, and it's a really big deal for him, and he's been kind of eyeballing this. You know, he lived down in Arizona for a while. He was a Park grad, came back to join the program at St. Louis Park, and you know, had a couple rough years to start, but you know, it's a process. You know, you got to start down low, build up kids, give them the confidence, give them the opportunity to grow and develop within the program. And especially when you're in the city, you have so many different opportunities to go to different schools.
Jeff Peterson, first year as head coach with Maple Grove. He'd been an assistant the last couple of years with Darby Carlson, had been the only coach the Crimson had up until this season. And Jeff's coached Osseo Cooper. He's been around and kind of a pitching guy, and he's had a strong pitching staff this season. And Park Center grad, was in the state tournament back in the day.
Good for him.
Back on Cable 12 days.
It's always Cable 12 to me. But yeah, good for him to kind of, you know, stay in the area. And I was reading an article on when he got the announcement, and he gave his wife or whoever he was, and he was out to dinner with somebody, he gave it double thumbs up, saying this is a great opportunity, and he's having a good time. Great start on his first season.
Tanner Allbeck, first pitch swinging and a base hit to start the Maple Grove 3rd. You know, the Crimson talked about putting together some quality at-bats late in the season. They were sometimes missing those big at-bats, those big hits early on in the year, and putting together more quality swings later in the year. And we've seen a few of them here, right there from Allbeck, getting the Maple Grove 4th hit of the day. And now Hornbacher, first pitch low.
Yeah, a great start to the game for Maple Grove against Hopkins here. You wouldn't expect them to put up 4 hits through 2+ innings, but here they are with another leadoff runner on.
Allbeck with great speed, and he steals his 20th base of the season.
Yeah, good
Helfman
jump.
had no shot on this one. The pitch that was high and over Hornbacher's head.
Yeah, good jump and good read. Hopkinson has a pretty strong move over to first base, but you know, reading that leg kick and getting that jump was key to get down to second base.
Called strike, 1-1 now to Hornbacher. Short lead at second for Allbeck. Wilkinson delivers, and Hornbacher fouling it out of play. Hornbacher last go around as far as high school baseball, not going to play in college. 4.0 students, going to go study up at North Dakota State University next year. So maybe he'll play some club ball or something, but this is it for him, as it is for a lot of seniors when you get to this point. And some guys go on and play, but in any sport.
Yeah, good for him to you know acknowledge that he's not going to pursue. He doesn't see himself becoming a professional or collegiate baseball player. He's going to call it a career baseball and move on to the academics. Good for him.
Fouls out of play, 2-2. Count to Hornbacher. Senior right fielder Gerber and Fisher on deck, the 3-4 hitters for Maple Grove. Albeck, the runner at second. Maple Grove looking to add to its lead here in the third. Swing and a miss. And there's the strikeout. Second of Hornbacher today. And the third of the game for Hopkinson.
Yeah, we didn't expect a strong pitcher's duel on both sides, but Hokinson's starting to heat up a little bit here, throwing strikes and trying to keep Maple Grove from adding that third run of the game for them. But a great start for Maple Grove pitcher as well, having 5 or 6 strikeouts through 3 innings. And that's usually what you expect in this first round of state. First and second round, you usually get really low-scoring games. Once you get late in the second round or into the championship, you start to see more runs put up on the board as you get deeper into the pitching rotation for these state tournament teams.
Called strike to Hunter Gerber. Singled in his first at bat. Hopkinson looking back at Albeck, delivers, pitch low. 1-1.
Yeah, not a very big lead at second, but I think he knows he has the speed that if there's a hit to the outfield that he should be able to get in. But he's taking a good secondary lead as that pitch comes into the plate.
Cut and miss. Good pitch by Hopkinson. A good swing by the Crimson first baseman, but couldn't catch up to it. It's 1-2.
Yeah, you want to keep them off balance. Some of these big hitters for Maple Grove, if they time that pitch up well and put the bat on the ball, it can go a ways. But Hopkinson doing a good job keeping them off balance.
Two foul at the plate.
Just got a piece of that one.
Albeck, the runner at second. 1 out here in the third. As Hopkinson really looking in at Zach Halfman, and Hunter Gerber steps out. Two pitch outside, 2-2. There goes Albeck, and he's got third base stolen.
Another great jump from second base there. I think that's why there was so much delay from Hopkinson. He sensed something was up, but great jump and was able to get into third base.
21st steal in 22 attempts now for Tanner Albeck.
Yeah, aggressive base running by Maple Grove, and that's what you got to do is you kind of try and rile up this Metro Player of the Year, and they've been doing so thus far into the game.
Herbert go around, no. 2-2. Infield in now for Park, trying to cut off Albeck on a ground ball.
Yeah, that would have been a big strikeout. Then they could play back, not having to worry about that run coming in, 2 outs on the board. But with only 1 out, even if he hits it up the middle of the infield, looks like Park will be coming home with the ball.
A little squibber, and they're not going to get anybody here. That's a 40-foot base hit for Hunter Gerber. He's 2 for 2, and runners at the corners for Maple Grove.
Line drive in the book. Anything you can do. Just kind of caught the top part of that ball, and it rolled just on the third baseline. Park realized they really didn't have much of a play, and if they did, they'd be forcing it, and that runner from third would have a chance to come in. So they just kind of see if it would roll foul. But fortunately for Maple Grove, it stayed fair.
Middle infielders back now, hoping for the double play. Now Vela will back up at third as well, with Fisher the batter. And that one gets away, back to the backstop. Here comes Albeck. He'll walk in and score, and it's 3-1 on the wild pitch. Gerber down to second.
Yeah, that ball low into the dirt, scoots right through the catcher, and Hopkinson didn't even really have too much chance to cover the plate with so much ground behind, or so much room behind home plate. I think this is more of a morale check. Make sure everybody's still staying positive. Don't get down. Realize that this is a team game. See it scoots right between the catcher's legs. with the runner on first, he's trying to make sure that he has a chance to get the guy running down to second base, but unfortunately he kind of comes up and it scoots in between his leg and the glove. Not a very familiar spot for Brian Kelly and these Orioles with Hopkins on the mound. Usually he's the one out there, making controlling the game and making the big plays. And Maple Grove has been able to get runners on base and be aggressive on the base paths. And here they are up 3-1 in only the third inning.
1-0 the count to Fisher. Gerber the runner at second. 2-0. Driven in the air out to center pretty well. Gerber's going to tag here. Head to third, throw in. It's going to be a little bit off the mark. Advancing the runner is Fisher. The ball hit pretty well. Giovanelli able to track it and run a little bit toward left field, that wind blowing it that way. But Maple Grove does move up a runner 90 feet to third.
Yeah, great base running, good range there by Stefano Giovanelli to track that ball down. The ball was kind of deep into left center field. His momentum wasn't going all the way towards third, so he had to kind of stop and put a little more muscle on that ball to get to third, but just a little bit off line, and now a pass ball brings in another run.
Foul ball hit by Mason South, who doubled down the line in his first at bat to lead off the second. Led to the first of two Crimson runs. One pitch to South, chased that one at 0-2.
It's one of the few pitches that we've seen Maple Grove actually chase of Hopkinson, and they've just had really good plate discipline and haven't chased too many pitches. That time Hopkinson got away with a ball up in the zone and got the strike.
2-pitch lifted up in the air out to right center field. Giovanelli in favor, comes over and he drops it. Oh my goodness. Gerber's in to score. Another run up on the board for Maple Grove, and it's 4-1.
Yeah, it looks like a little miscommunication. You think the center fielder will call him off, but the right fielder called that one right away. And as we showed you earlier in the game, that wind is blowing pretty stiff from right field to left. So for that right fielder, it's going to continually push away from him. And you see it kind of continually keeps going further and further. At the last second, just kind of falls out of his glove.
So I was like, yeah, I'll take that. No RBI on the play, but another run for Maple Grove as Gerber comes in. 2 runs on the board in the second and the third here for the Crimson. Aiden McMahon, the batter.
There's that outside corner again. And if you're Hopkinson, you want to learn from that. Stay in that outside corner. Don't let these guys drive any balls, and stay in the outside corner as much as possible.
That one missed up high. McMahon takes it. It's 1-2. Two and two. Now 3-2.
Good pitch, good plate discipline to lay out that ball in the outside corner, breaking ball.
Count full, runner will be going. Ball hit to short. They'll have to go to first for the out. And they did get it. And Maple Grove is retired. Farley to Walsh. McMahon retired. But for Maple Grove, 2 more runs on the board on 2 hits, 1 error and 1 left on. 3 innings complete. Maple Grove has stretched its lead. Now 4-1 Crimson.
The family's visit to the forest inspired a beautiful question. Mother, mother, am I a tree? You tell me to stand tall. You tell me to stay rooted. I think I am a tree. My child, of course you are. But what kind of tree will you be? The kind to hug or the kind to climb? Doesn't matter which you choose, so long as you choose to be a tree that's kind.
Make the forest part of your story at a park near you. Find one at discovertheforest.org.
STEM is precise, no margin for error.
Dare to forget that. Dare to have fun with it. Get weird with it. Dare to send those old STEM theories flying past the neighbor's house into outer space. Dare to program something internet-breaking, record-breaking. Dare to blow their minds. Dare to learn the difference between sedimentary and metamorphic rock. Go find those rocks. Dare to keep daring. Dare to STEM. Check out She Can STEM to get started.
As a scientist, I know by the time she takes her first breath, 9 billion more tons of carbon pollution will be in the air. When she takes her first steps, wildfires will have burned millions more acres she could have explored. By the time a child born today goes to college, it may be too late to leave them the world we promised. Our window to act on climate change is like watching them grow up. We blink and we miss it.
We talked about the wind, Drew Keown saw it come into play in that last half inning on that drop ball fly ball out in right field. There's young Jack Jacobson enjoying the game with some of his Crimson friends. We both have children in the house, Drew.
He's a good-looking version of you, huh? He's got a bright future ahead of him. I remember we were talking. I remember working at Cable 12 before it was CCX. The day he was born was one of my first sports jams back in the day. Good memories.
He was born on a Sunday. We used to tape Sports Jam on a Monday, and you filled in for me with Jay Wilcox.
Probably an award-winning version that time, right?
I'll dig it up and send it to you. Sometime. It's on tape somewhere.
The old tape archives. I remember that.
Well, St. Louis Park, a little work to do, Drew. They're in a position, like you mentioned, not accustomed to when they have Chris Hopkins on the mound, now trailing by 3 runs as we go to the 4th inning. Graham Sullivan leading it off against Aiden McMahon, who's been pretty tough. Allowed some base runners the first couple of innings, but has retired the last 4. And 6 strikeouts so far. He's ahead 1 and 2 here on Sullivan.
Yeah, he's pitched very well after that good start by Park to put one up in the top half of the first. He's really focused in and thrown strikes and had control of the plate and has been getting the outs he needs to get to keep St. Louis Park off the board after that first run.
Miss low, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Sullivan, Walsh, and Vela, the scheduled hitters for the Orioles here in the visiting part of the 4th inning at CHS Field. Winner to play Farmington tomorrow. Hit it on the air to right. Hornbacher over and makes the catch. 1 away.
Good read off the bat there. Didn't have to move too far, but well hit ball to right field, just right at the right fielder. Made a quick adjustment to track that ball down and get the first out.
Brings up Brady Walsh. First pitch outside, and the 3-sport guy for St. Louis Park. Football, basketball, and baseball.
Yeah, I remember seeing him play basketball. He seems like a pretty tough guy and brings a lot of attitude and fire to the team.
At 333 in sections with 3 extra base hits and 3 RBIs. Took that pitch for a strike, and McMahon is ahead of him now. 2 strikes. Up back to the mound. McMahon will scoop it over to Gerber, 2 away.
Yeah, caught him off guard. Quick adjustment to that breaking ball, just put the bat on the ball, put it in play, but unfortunately just right at the pitcher and fields that cleanly and gets the out over at first.
Sliced and O'Dwyer with a nice grab, catching that ball, sinking liner off the bat of Vela to retire Park in the 4th inning. A quick 1-2-3 inning. Good defensive play by the senior shortstop to end it. Park is down, still 4-1 Maple Grove.
Can I get the now bar, please?
$1.
Have a good one.
Got it.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey.
Let me get a now bar.
Sure. $1.
Appreciate you.
Got it.
Mom was always very self-sufficient, but we started noticing things were off.
I was forgetting my responsibilities at work.
I told Mom we should visit a doctor.
Alzheimer's. It was hard to hear that.
Early detection gave us time to seek information and support as a family. I've never felt more connected with Mom.
If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.
Farmington is on to the semifinals. Defending state champions rallied to beat Park Cottage Grove in the first game today. These guys are smart. Up in the shade, Drew. And take in game 2, see who they'll be playing here tomorrow at noon.
Yeah, I'm sure they got a good talking to from Coach saying stay out of the sun. We got more baseball. Hopefully we're going to have 2 more games this week that really mean a lot to us. Great program that Farmington's put together, growing community and a dominating baseball program, and they had a big win to start this tournament off earlier today.
So we go to the home half of the 4th inning. The ball chopped to the right side by Tents. Going to be retired. Start the Crimson 4th inning. Henry Odens to Brady Walsh, went away.
You know, it's important here for Park to keep their composure. They're a team that prides themselves on being a pretty clean team. They try not to make, I mean, of course you never want to make errors, but they don't really blow you out of the water with their hitting. They're usually in pretty close games, and especially with Hopkins on the mound, they want to, keep this game. They don't want to give up any more runs, and they want to be able to turn that lineup over and get their key hitters up to the plate for a 3rd time and hopefully put a couple runs on the board for themselves.
So Dwyer Drew, who had the great bunt in his first at bat. 2 runs scoring directly on that play.
Yeah, that was a perfectly laid down suicide squeeze bunt. I could see as the runner at second base was moving. I expected the bunt to just go right back to the pitcher and they'd be satisfied with the 1 run, but perfectly laid out down the first base line. They try to get out at first, throws it over his head, and second run comes in.
Two-one pitch. 3-1 now to O'Dwyer. Kilzer on deck. Strike, and McMahon thought, or it might have been low.
Yeah.
Couldn't influence the umpire. It's 3-2. Slice foul on a play. Kilzer, as you mentioned, on deck, and back to the top of the order. Dwyer gains in, and they've had some good battles against Hopkinson. I mean, obviously, they put the ball in play and have played it 4 runs, Drew, but they're getting strong swings even when they're not, putting the ball in play. They're making contact most of the time. Dwyer rips one into right field. It'll be a 1-out single. Be the 6th hit of the day for Maple Grove.
Yeah, they're doing a great job at the plate, working the count, trying to find a pitch that they can drive just like that. They, not the hardest hit ball of the day. Actually, that's one of the harder hit balls, but they squared it up, put it in play, hit a line drive to right field, and certainly down for a hit. So nice at bat, and way to get a runner on and see what Maple Grove does here if they stay aggressive on the base paths.
1 on, 1 out, and here's Kilzer. Called strike to him. Kilzer getting a lot of offers for college football. Maple Grove quarterback. Be a senior in the fall. Throw to first, and Dwyer back in.
Yeah, it's a lot of responsibility to be the starting quarterback for a program at Maple Grove, but good job for him to, continue playing other sports and stay active and focus on baseball this spring. And once this season's over, he's probably got some summer plans and then back to the gridiron at Maple Grove.
Pike, Hills are showing bunt, 1-1. Now, he'll step out. Dwyer only one steal on the season. A little ready to go in that last inning. And was caught stealing. Throw delivery home. A chopper to first. Walsh will get the out at first base, but that's it. And Dwyer moves up to second base.
Yeah, pretty easy play over there for Brady to field that ground ball. I think he kind of dropped it. He knew he had time, but jumped a little early, fielded it cleanly, but then it fell out of his glove as I think he was trying to look over at second base to see if he'd have to play down there if he tags first base, throw it on, get the tag at second. But focus on getting one out at a time here.
2 outs, but Dwyer now in scoring position. Back to Allback at the top of the order. Chopper, Hopkins off the mound, throws to first. Great play by the Park pitcher, throws out Allback and retires Maple Grove in the 4th inning. No runs on a hit. Maple Grove leads 1. They've stranded 3. 4 innings complete here at CHS. It's 4-1 Maple Grove.
As a scientist, I know by the time she takes her first breath, 9 billion more tons of carbon pollution will be in the air. When she takes her first steps, wildfires will have burned millions more acres she could have explored. By the time a child born today goes to college, it may be too late to leave them the world we promised. Our window to act on climate change is like watching them grow up. We blink and we miss it.
Some of the fun today at CHS Field. Park scoring 3 batters into the game. Maple Grove coming back, getting 2 runs in the second, 2 in the third. We go to the 5th inning. Aiden McMahon on the bump with a 3-run lead. And now you start to count outs a little bit, right? If you're on either side, just 9 outs to go between you and a victory or you and a comeback if you're Park.
Yeah, this is going to be a big inning for Park. They want to put a couple runners on, close this gap, if not trying to take the lead. McMahon's done great out there on the mound, controlling the strike zone and getting key outs throughout the first 4 innings, and see if Park's able to adapt and put some runners on. They haven't had much luck to play today.
Odens fouls that one off, 1-1. Caught on strikes in his first at bat in the second. And it's back to Farley and Argenti for the Orioles, and then eventually Hopkins. So he'd like getting back to the top of the order. This in any, at least you put a dent in the lead, if not more.
Yeah, you want to set the table, turn over the lineup, get that leadoff hitter for the inning on, and then bring up the top of your order and start running around the bases like Maple Grove has got. It comes down to just a few key plays, and Maple Grove's been able to capitalize on it, and Park hasn't really had the opportunities yet.
2-2. Hopped in the air out to short right field, and Hornbacher called off. Second baseman Vitens makes the catch, 1 away.
Good start to the inning there for the Grovers. Get that first out. Looks like they got somebody warming up down the bullpen. That's a long hike down there across the field, but you kind of want to ride your ace. He's been the ace today. Don't change it if it's working. Don't change anything.
Hit in the air, and so slice away from Kilzer. Try to cut it off, and he won't be able to get it in second in time. That's a one-out double for Ben Farley.
That's the first bit of energy we've seen for this Park program, this Park team, since that first inning. And it starts at the top of the order, and here you go. You have a chance to set the table and get your key hitters to the plate and see what you can do. I wouldn't expect Park to be too aggressive here and put too much. You wouldn't expect to sacrifice bunt here down 3. So,
strike call.
Away, but he did square around. It looked like he was potentially, maybe he's dropping down for a hit. Let's see what happens.
One pitch, and one gets away from Fisher, moving up Farley to third base.
The catcher thought that was a foul ball, but he's not getting the call from the umpire. He's looking over at his coach to see if there's something they can talk to the umpire about, but rolling in the dirt and scooted out of his glove.
That'll go as pass ball, moving Farley up to third. 1-1 count, or 0-2 the count. That one's hit in the air to left field. That'll be a base hit, and a run is in. Park's got to run back. Regenti with a run-scoring single. The score, Ben Farley, is 4-2.
Like that, we talked about it as the inning started. This is the spot for Park. This is where they want to do their damage. They turn that lineup over and get their big hitters to the plate. It's the third time seeing McMahon on the mound making adjustments, and they're getting pitches that they can drive here, and good start to them.
Aiden Hansen is warming up in the bullpen for Maple Grove. He's been the #1 guy much of the season. They've got, it looks like he's going to get the call right here, Drew.
Yeah, it wasn't much of a discussion. I think, coming back from an injury in the fall, and, you did great. Great job today on the mound starting this first round of the state tournament. Hand it off to your teammate and see if he can close the door and finish the game for you.
Well, Hansen will be making his 9th appearance. 6 of them have been starts. He's 4-1 on the season, drew an ERA of 1.17. So he's been solid on the hill for Maple Grove this season. 46 strikeouts and 36 innings pitched.
Yeah, those are some pretty good numbers, and it's not like they play a cupcake schedule. They have a pretty solid conference, good section. They have a pretty good opponent, opponents on their schedule every year, and this year's no different. You have some teams out there that may go through the season and put up amazing gaudy numbers and have an 18-2 record or go 16-4, but they typically don't play as tough of a schedule. But for Maple Grove, their stats are legit. They have a really good program, and throughout the year they've been playing tough teams every day.
We'll take a break. We'll come back. More of the 5th inning coming up. Park mounting a rally. More baseball on CCX in a moment. Aiden McMahon will move out to left field, replacing Caden Vogel. And Aiden Hansen is the new pitcher for Maple Grove. Chris Hokinson wanted to go for one big, Drew, on that first pitch, swing and a miss.
Yeah, good aggressive swing there. Didn't see the ball well, and it wasn't the pitch he was expecting, and big first strike.
Hansen and Fisher, the battery here for Maple Grove, both heading the All-Star Series in Chaska. Hansen's put up good numbers. We mentioned them right before the break. In the ERA of 1.17. Ahead of Hokinson. Here's the throw. He's called out on strikes. Throw down to second. Safe. Off the bag now, and now he's out. Oh, I don't know if he thought he was, I don't know what happened there, Drew, with or if he thought the ball went into center, and a strikeout throw-out double play to thwart the St. Louis Park rally.
Yeah, tough play. I think he slid through the bag and realized he didn't have much chance to get back to the bag, and at that point he was kind of a dead duck and made a break towards third and just kind of caught no man's land. Nice throw by the catcher. Good strong throw.
So Maple Grove holds its lead. Park does get a run on a couple of hits. Nobody left on. St. Louis Park down 2. Maple Grove still in front.
CCX Media, your source for great local programming, is now available on Roku and Apple TV. Our free app allows you to stream all 3 of our channels live. You also have access to a large on-demand library, including daily newscasts and full sporting events. To find the app, go to the store and search CCX and download our free app. Then sit back and enjoy all of your favorite local content. Now available on Roku and Apple TV.
CCX Media is the first place you go for local news and sports. But did you know you can sign up for those stories to go straight to your inbox on our website? Simply go to ccxmedia.org. Click on the subscribe button, and from there choose which notifications you want to receive. Then we'll send your favorite CCX Media news, sports, and city events straight to your inbox. Sign up now at ccxmedia.org.
There's our scores. We move to the bottom half of the 5th inning. Maple Grove, the 4 seed, leading St. Louis Park, the 5 seed, 4-2.
Yeah, when you get to this point in the season and you're playing sections in state tournament baseball, it usually comes down to a couple of really key moments within the game. And unfortunately for Park, but for Maple Grove today, it's played out in their way. Though that squeeze bunt netted 2 runs. That strike them out, throw them out there after they have a little bit of energy for Maple Grove. They got out of the inning with Hopkins taking that called 3rd strike and the throw it on a second as the runner slid through the bag to get that 3rd out for Maple Grove.
Oh, and that one hits Hornbacher. And so Devin on board to lead off the bottom of the 5th.
Sounded like muscle. It's going to hurt. It's going to leave bruise, but you're on. Yeah, right in the hip.
Right in the ribs?
Yeah, right in the hips. If that's his last at bat of the day, put some ice on it. He's young. He'll be all right.
So leadoff runner on for Maple Grove. Drew in the 5th, looking to get back that run that they gave up in the top of the inning.
Yeah,
every run in the postseason seems crucial, doesn't it? Every play seems like
there's so much emotion,
yes,
so much stress, and that's one of the things I was thinking of coming into the game, that it was hard to understand as a player that this is just a game. You want to go out there and do your thing. Everything in the regular season, in the sections, is kind of like extended practice to get to this point. Now you just go through what you do, and you don't want to think too much about the game. You don't want to stress too much and put too much pressure on yourself on one play. Just go out there and throw strikes, and you've worked yourself to get to this point. You have a great team. You have great skills. Don't think too much about the game. Play the game, and then after the game, you look back and say, "Oh my gosh, what a fun time that was."
Hornbacher back into the bag.
And that type of approach comes with experience. It's exposure to these big games like Maple Grove's state tournament appearance in football and in hockey. They've been on this big stage before, so they've felt the pressure.
1-1 pitch. Gerber drives it well out into deep center field. Going back though, Giovanelli making the catch. And one away. Gerber tagged it pretty well. It's a good sized ballpark, and Giovanelli played it well, saw it off the bat.
Yeah, Giovanelli covers a lot of ground. That center field wall is about 402 feet away, and plenty of room. That ball is tagged pretty well. May have been out of a few parks that these guys play in during the regular season, but Giovanelli tracked that one down and gets that key first out.
Giovinelli, really good football player, Drew. Outstanding wide receiver for Park. Runner going, and they got him caught up in between bases. Hornbacher and the rundown. Walsh trying to run him down. And they got him.
Longer than you would expect in a rundown, so good aggressive base running, but Park executes the rundown properly and gets that out and clears the bases. But going back to Giovinelli, yeah, he's just a three-sport athlete. I dropped my son off at St. Louis Park summer basketball camp yesterday morning, and you see we finally saw the pickoff move from Hopkins, and it paid off, and we were able to get that runner off the base paths.
1-3-4-3-6.
Well, that's what you said. Trust you on that. But going back to Giovinelli, yeah, he was out there shooting hoops yesterday morning with the second and third graders, even the junior high kids, running the basketball camp with the head coach over there. So good to see him stay active, and multi-sport athletes like we were talking about earlier. It's good to see that they can do their elite programs and focus on what their main sport is, but also stay active and stay involved in the school activities. It's fun to see them create that community.
Gotten a miss. Fisher behind now. Hokinson 1-2 the count to the Maple Grove catcher. Hokinson trying to get his team back out at the plate here. 2 innings left to go to try to get a couple more runs. And Hokinson thought he had strike 3. I thought he did too. A little bit high. Trying to walk off the mound. It's 2-2.
Yeah, that was a good pitch inside corner. Thought he had to call it third strike, but didn't get it. Got to go back down out there and focus in and get this third out.
Inside, it's 3-2. Mason South on deck if Fisher can get aboard. And the pitch hit in the air out in the left. This will hang up, drifting toward the line, and it's going to drop and then bounce out of play. It'll be a double as just kept drifting away from Regenti there and left. He never could catch up to it. Fisher has himself a double.
Wow, that ball just carried, and it was slicing from the left-handed hitter. Hit the left field, it sliced the whole time, but then with that wind, it pushes it even further. It's a tough play. I mean, it looks like a routine fly ball off the bat, but it just keeps slicing, and that wind pushes it, and you see it bounces actually in the warning track and right out of play. Which fortunately, I mean, that's kind of a blessing in disguise for St. Louis Park for it to end up a ground rule double.
Well, then how big is the pickoff now?
Yeah. Fun to see this airport. You got a couple of military choppers up there. Fun to see the aircrafts come in at CHS.
Mason South, the batter. We've got a courtesy runner, Cole Newell running for Fisher. That'll go to the backstop, and Newell will move up to third. Cole Newell, Drew, a guy that Maple Grove was expecting to be their top pitcher coming into the season. Hurt his arm in the first game. Hasn't been able to pitch, but he's been pinch running for Maple Grove, and now a senior, now over at third base.
Yeah, good experience for him to get out there and stay active and potentially score that 5th run here for Maple Grove. Got a little pause in the game as the warm-up bullpen pitcher and catcher were coming in and give them a time to clear the field.
Want to know the count to South. Hits it to short. Backs up the shortstop a little bit. And he's not going to have a play. Run scores. And it's 5-2 Maple Grove. Farley couldn't quite come up with it cleanly. And then he had no shot to throw out South. Newell scores, and another run on the board, another unearned run for the Crimson.
That ball kind of eats Farley up. It's hit really hard. He was caught in between. He was going to come in and try and short hop it. Decided to step back, but the ball is hit too hard. He's not able to make the adjustment and come up cleanly with the ball, and Maple Grove puts that 5th run on the board.
So another run in for Maple Grove. Although not up on the scoreboard yet here at CHS. Aiden McMahon, the batter, started his pitching now in left field. 1 for 2 at the plate.
Big counter here by Maple Grove after giving up that run to Park. They had a little momentum and
throw down to first, and ducking back in is South.
Just as Park gets that momentum, they kind of run themselves out with that strike them out, throw them out, and Maple Grove, extends this inning with a long ground rule double, and they take advantage and score that 5th run on that hit to the shortstop.
It's low and in, and McMahon is aboard, and there's 2 runners on.
Confusion as the scoreboard was not updated, so they weren't sure if it was second or third or fourth ball, but
this is going to be it for Hopkinson. He's made some good pitches, but has not been as overpowering as he's been certainly in a lot of games. Drew, Maple Grove's put the ball in play, and Park has not been totally sharp in the field today either.
Yeah, they made a couple blunders, and Maple Grove was definitely taking advantage and forced Park into some tough situations. But Hopkinson, he's pitched well. Just a couple of things. He's got to put those errors behind him and the misplays, and say, okay, I got to strike these guys out, or keep throwing strikes. Don't worry about any errors or anything that might not be going as you would expect, and usually does when he's on the mound.
He stays in though. Michael Ross will run for McMahon over at first base. Ross, who had a great pitching performance in relief of Ethan Zimmerman in the section championship, got the win. Zane Vitens, the batter. A run in, 2 on, 2 out for Maple Grove here in the 5th. They lead it 5-2. Vitens grounds it to second. Park gets the out at first. Maple Grove retired, but Crimson able to answer back that run that Park had scored in the top of the inning. A run on a hit, an error, and 2 left on. 5 innings complete. It's 5-2 Maple Grove.
Can I get the now bar, please?
$1.
Have a good one.
Got it.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey.
Let me get a now bar.
Sure. $1.
Appreciate you.
You got it.
I'm a first-generation Filipino American. You don't always feel you're a part of the country you live in. It's this weird middle space sometimes that you have to live inside of. But when you meet others that are also living in that space, you'll learn to know that it's its own unique space too.
Some of the fans not minding the sun, Drew, out on the berm there beyond the left field fence here at CHS Field. Watching Maple Grove take a 5-2 lead on St. Louis Park going into the 6th inning.
I bet you it feels pretty good out there, actually. You got the breeze going. The sun's kind of covered by the clouds, and I think in the stands you don't get much of that air. You don't get much of that circulation from the wind, but out there you get that breeze hitting you. It feels good out there.
This is a great venue for high school ball. You and I have done a couple of games here over the years. Watched Wayzata walk off Lakeville North a few years ago, the year of their state championship season.
Yeah, it's big, but it's not too big. Plenty of space for everybody to sit, and the facility is just perfectly laid out. And just it's a great setting right downtown. You watch the cars. I said earlier, you got the planes coming in. There's always something going on.
Aiden Hansen, his first full inning of work here, came on in relief of Aiden McMahon, got that strikeout throwout double play to end the top of the 5th inning, and now works ahead of Stefano Giovanelli, 2 strikes. Line past his head into center field for a base hit. That was ripped. Leadoff single for Park here in the 6th. Trailing by 3. Their number 4 hitter gets a leadoff single.
Very well hit ball right up the box, and that echo of the ball hitting the bat, it sounded like it either hit the pitcher's glove, and I was hoping it didn't hit him in the header, and fortunately it got through and he came out unscathed.
Blow it away to Zach Halprin. First time facing Hansen. He struck out twice against Aiden McMahon. Called strike, 1-1.
Yeah, live on that outside corner. If you're a pitcher on the mound today, whether you're pitching for Maple Grove or St. Louis Park, umpires consistently call that outside part of the plate.
Yeah, 1-1 pitch hit in the air to left field, drifting foul, and this will be out of play. Boy, that was hit well. Not as much foul as I thought. I thought that was going to be well fouled. That was pretty close.
I don't know. I mean, if you look at where that landed, I mean, we have a kind of an awkward angle. That was really close. If you look where that landed compared to the foul ball pole.
One 2 pitch fouled away by Halprin. Hellman trying to get on board here and get Park going with a runner on, lead off the 6th. Hansen checking the runner, comes home, and a called strike 3. And Hellman's out on strikes for the 3rd time today.
And there's that outside corner, outside part of the plate, and it's, you know, as a hitter, that's not really one that you're able to drive. So you kind of want to fight it off and push it to the opposite side of the field. But nice frame by the catcher, and you know, he didn't really move, so the umpire is reacting to his positioning, and he got rewarded with the called strike.
Graham Sullivan, first pitch swinging, fouls it out of play. Called strike. Good pitch by Hansen. It's 0-2.
Yeah, nice pitch. Nice breaking ball.
Around, called strike. He did go around. 2 down.
He's had good control, and he stays out there and keeps him off balance, and yet they go around. So good call.
So Hansen with 3 strikeouts already, 2 away. And Walsh, someone low and away. Good stop by Fisher.
Yeah, if you're Maple Grove here, you trade outs for a run. You don't want to, don't be throwing the ball around. Don't make anything too crazy. Focus on getting 1 out at a time. I think we had a ball pop over the field, left field from the bullpen. Must have gotten it back.
Andrew Vela is warming up for Park. We'll see if he comes in to pitch in relief of Hopkins in the next inning. Good pitch again by Hansen. Called strike, 1-1.
For the most part, he's had really good control. His pitches aren't down the center of the plate. Giovanelli crushed that one up the middle, but everything else has been kind of on the corners outside, and good sharp breaking ball.
Another one on the inside corner here. It's 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes. Stopped by Fisher on the pitch, low and away, 2-2. Giovanelli, the runner at first. He had the leadoff single, but then back-to-back strikeouts, and he's still there. The count 2-2 to Brady Walsh. Chopped to short. O'Dwyer gets off his glove and into left field. On his way to third is Giovanelli. And an error for Maple Grove. And the inning stays alive here for St. Louis Park.
Yeah, that's one of those things where you want to take advantage of that. If you're Park here, you want to keep this going. You want to get that run across the plate. Do anything you can. Pretty routine ground ball. I think he was just thinking ahead and scoots right off the edge of his glove and into left field, where Gio Vanelli's moving on contact with 2 out, aggressively rounding that bag at second because he could see it. As the ball's hit with 2 outs, you're running to second, and then you try and pick it up. And BK Kelly teaches them to pick that ball up once it's hit, and then you can make your next move.
Swing and a miss. Vela back into the dugout now as it was his turn to bat. 1 for 2 today. Fouled off of the hand of Fisher. Grimacing up out of his crouch there.
One of the hardest working guys in the stadium today for sure. Catcher in this weather is a lot of work.
Play next year at the Mankato.
You got him on the inside part of the leg, and that's just one of those areas where you don't get the ball hit there that often. When it does, it's not comfortable.
First error of the game for Maple Grove. St. Louis Park has committed 3. 0-2 pitch to Vela. Hansen strikes him out to end the inning. A big strikeout for the Maple Grove senior. And St. Louis Park gets a couple runners on but can't score. No runs, a hit, an error, 2 left. 5.5 innings played. It's still 5-2 Crimson.
The family's visit to the forest inspired a beautiful question. Mother, mother, am I a tree? You tell me to stand tall. You tell me to stay rooted. I think I am a tree. My child, of course you are. But what kind of tree will you be? The kind to hug or the kind to climb? Doesn't matter what you choose, so long as you choose to be a tree that's kind.
Make the forest part of your story at a park near you. Find one at discovertheforest.org.
STEM is precise, no margin for error.
Dare to forget that. Dare to have fun with it. Get weird with it. Dare to send those old STEM theories flying past the neighbor's house into outer space. Dare to program something internet-breaking, record-breaking. Dare to blow their minds. Dare to learn the difference between sedimentary and metamorphic rock. Go find those rocks. Dare to keep daring. Dare to STEM. Check out She Can STEM to get started.
Andrew Vela is the new pitcher for St. Louis Park, who's moved to the bottom half of the 6th inning. Vela on in relief of Chris Hopkinson. 2-1 record on the season for Vela. 20 innings pitched. ERA of 2.10 and better than the strikeout an inning. 23 Ks in the 20 innings pitched.
Yeah, he's a good number 3 pitcher for them. As you see, Hopkinson moves over to first base, but back to Vela. He came in that section final against Hopkins and had some huge outs as they kind of burned through their pitching as Hopkinson pitched game 1, and then Stefano Giovanelli came in the 8th inning and pitched the first half of that game, of the championship game, game 3 between Hopkins and St. Louis Park. But Vela came in and shut down the door and helped Park advance to the state tournament here. Now he needs to keep Maple Grove off the board, and hopefully Park can get some runs going in the top of the 7th.
Well, Dwyer, Kilzer, and Allbeck, the scheduled hitters for Maple Grove here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. First pitch strike from Vela.
A little bit of an adjustment in velocity from Hopkinson and Vela, as well as going from a left-hander or a right-hander. So, you got to adjust and pick up the changes as a batter.
Dwyer thought that one was low. Looked a little low, but it's called strike. 0-2. Vela working quickly. 3-pitch strikeout to start the inning.
Stayed on the inside corner that time and got those breaking balls called third strike. Called second strike and third strike, and I don't think he agreed with either of those strikes, but he got the call. You see a nice breaking ball on the inside part of the plate. Did a nice sharp break. Catcher doesn't move. He's set up in the inside corner, and the umpire rewards him.
He'll one away, and the number 9 hitter, Jacob Kilzer. Ripped right at first base. 1 away, 2 away. Hopkins makes the grab.
Yeah, nice play. Line drive, got down, put that glove in the dirt, and immediately showed the umpire to make sure there's no confusion over if it was short hopped, and confirmed with the umpire that he did field that in the air and got the out.
Well, quickly, 2 outs for Maple Grove in the bottom of the 6th. Top of the order, and Tanner Albeck. Swing and a miss. Albeck 1 for 3. Run scored, a couple of stolen bases, and the one time he was on base, true, got him to third base and eventually scored.
Yeah, you want to do anything you can, especially when you got the speed like he does, to get on base and cause St. Louis Park to move around, think about things, and try and make things happen. And when you have his speeds, he's definitely dangerous when he gets on the base paths.
One pitch called strike. Outside corner, Vela ahead of 1-2. Way outside, 2-2.
Breaking ball is kind of a saucer there, and you can see he didn't have as much control on it as he has in the previous 2 at bats, but still has a ball to waste there, and come back with the 2-2 count and try and get this third out.
Rounded to third, slow roller, and not going to have a play. And Albeck, as we mentioned, runs well and able to reach. Brady Walsh moved from first to third. Hopkins moved from the pitching mound to first, and it's an infield single for Albeck.
Yeah, sometimes speed kills. You can't really defend against some speed sometimes like that one. Just kind of puts the ball down the line, not the hardest hit ball. Walsh really didn't have much opportunity to make a play over first, so kind of ate it and didn't force anything bad to happen. So
Hornbacher check swing, Vela off the mound, and he's not going to have a play. Everything from Maple Grove just seems to be breaking their way, right? I mean, a little check swing, the perfect bunt by O'Dwyer, the drop fly ball that Park had in the outfield, and everything so far is going their way. And another infield single back-to-back for Maple Grove.
And that often is the difference in these games of really closely matched teams and with a lot of talent on both sides. The small little things, you get a good break. You see, he kind of stumbled and fell back on the grass a little bit there. So good that he didn't throw, because he may have thrown it over the first baseman's head, and that ball probably would have gone over in the right field if he didn't have a good throw.
And Hornbacher runs well, and it was a good choice not to throw it, I feel. So Albeck at second, Hornbacher at first, 2 outs, and Gerber the batter. 2 for 3 today, and the ball well in his other at bat. Fly out to Giovanelli in center.
Yeah, big opportunity here for the Crimson to really give themselves a little breathing room as they head into the top of the 7th.
There's the Crimson runners. 5 runs on 9 hits for Maple Grove today. Cut and a miss. Good healthy swing by the junior first baseman. It's 1-1.
That was a big swing. If he made contact there, that ball was going a long way.
On 1 pitch from Vela. Just missed inside. That was a pretty good pitch. I thought it might have caught the inside corner. It's a good place for Vela to put it. Not where Gerber can drive it.
Yeah, Gerber actually kind of leaned into it like he was going to wear it and get on base by a hit by pitch, but broke on the inside part of the plate and didn't get the call.
2-1 pitch, grounded to first. Hopkins up with it, will step on the bag, and that will do it for Maple Grove in the 6th. No runs, couple of hits, they leave 2. Last chance for St. Louis Park. We go to the top of the 7th. It's 5-2 Maple Grove.
Mom was always organized, but she started forgetting to pay her bills on time.
And she'd buy the same gifts over and over.
Telling the girls about my Alzheimer's diagnosis was really hard.
At first we had our cries, but then we were like, okay, let's make a plan.
Early detection gave us time to adapt together.
It's so important for you to think about what you can do and making the most of what you have.
If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.
Warmed up to 93 degrees here in St. Paul on this Tuesday afternoon. Maple Grove was hoping a half inning to go in this one. St. Louis Park looking to extend it top half of the 7th inning. Third pitcher of the day for Maple Grove will be right-hander Zane Vitens, making his 8th appearance. Has just one start, so 7 out of the bullpen. 1-0 on the season, 11 2/3 innings pitched. ERA of 3.60 for the senior.
Big spot for him to come in and shut the door against this Park team. Move Maple Grove on into the second round in the semifinals of the state tournament here. Good for him good pitcher to come in and have that experience coming in late in the game. You know, you got a 3-run lead, a little bit of a cushion, so you want to make sure you get one out at a time and keep these Park runners off the base paths, because this is the part of the order that if they turn it over, this is where they can kind of string a few hits together.
Kellen Riskadal is in to play second base for Maple Grove, replacing Vitens. First pitch low in the dirt to Odens. Odens, Farley, and Regenti. Park in the 7th. Offered at that, it's a strike, 1-1.
Not the best pitch to try and bunt there, a little outside the plate. You want to get something over the plate, but he's trying to force something, and they keep it on with 1 strikeout.
Popped up, Allback giving chase into foul territory, and it's out of his reach in the stands.
Good hustle, good hustle. You know, having not played on this field, I don't know if they've ever played in this field, but not familiar with the grounds and the amount of space between, you know, the foul ball line and the fence. But flip that cap off and hustle down there and made a good attempt to catch that fly ball.
That was just a long run out of his reach.
Wearing
1-2.
Wearing him out after a couple sacked square around and getting a chase in. Now almost popped over his head. 2 strikes on him now.
Vitens delivery. Hop into right field. Hornbacher comes in and makes the catch. Almost a little snow cone there, Drew, but makes the grab. 1 away.
And not where you typically catch the ball when you're fielding the fly ball. It kind of caught him right in the palm, I think.
Yeah,
It almost bounced
right
out.
off the heel of the glove. Able to keep
Squeezed
it.
Yeah, squeezed it, got the out.
Jump for it. He had it all the way.
Yeah, can't accord.
So one out, and always that first out, right, when you're the team ahead or down, for that matter, is a big one.
Yep.
When you're trying to start a rally, or if you're trying to prevent one from happening.
Yeah, a lot of emotion. A lot of emotion. Momentum really builds quickly at this point in the game, and Maple Grove to get that first out is key.
Farley with a double and a run scored in 3 at-bats. A 1 pitch right back to the mound. Vitens will run it over himself, throw to Gerber, 2 down. And now St. Louis Park down to its final out.
Huge play on the mound there. Not only throwing strikes, but sticks that glove out and fields it cleanly. If he doesn't field that cleanly, it bounces away, and you know the leadoff hitter can easily scoot down to first base and get a base runner for Park. But nice play by the pitcher to get that second out.
Stanley Regenti pops it up, short right field. Riskendall is back, makes the catch. And Maple Grove is on to the semifinals with a 5-2 win over St. Louis Park. Vitens comes in, throws a 1-2-3 7th. Maple Grove uses 3 pitchers, some timely hits, misplays by Park in the field, and all adds up, drew to a Crimson win. And they're on to the semifinals against Farmington, and now 20-4 in the season.
Yeah, huge win by Maple Grove. Experienced team, success in state tournaments, and you know they move on with they're 1 win away from getting to another state championship here in this school year. So great win for them. These kind of games, like I said, come down to a couple of key moments, and it seems like every key moment after that first run that Park put on the board in the top of the first went Maple Grove's way, whether it was a suicide squeeze, ground rule double, a drop ball in right field. Everything seemed to go Maple Grove's way, and it's not just luck. That happens. That's practice. That's that's repetition. That's preparing for the moment, and they got the breaks today, and they move on. So congrats to them.
St. Louis Park still in the tournament, 18-8. Will take on Park Cottage Grove, but Maple Grove, they're like, let's go, right? We're into the semifinals now against defending state champion Farmington.
Yeah, not that they're under the radar, but they're kind of one of those teams that's like, oh, it's Maple Grove. They always have good baseball, but they're never great. Well, this team is very scrappy. They've shown they have really good pitching. They're able to hit one of the best pitchers in the state, and take advantage of the small things. And they forced the issue. They got on base, they ran around, scored some runs, and got out to an early lead after the second inning and never looked back. So good for them. Congrats, and good luck for the Crimson for the rest of the state tournament here.
We'll be back at CHS Field for that game on Wednesday. Watch for it later this week on CCX, on our website, ccxmedia.org, and on our channel, CCX1. For Drew Key and all of our great crew, I'm John Jacobson. Thanks so much for joining us today from St. Paul. Final score again, state quarterfinal round baseball. Maple Grove wins it over St. Louis Park, 5-2, the final.